Hello everybody, and welcome to my next video. This isn't a tutorial. This is just basically to give you guys some motivation and some information on how I got to where I was and how come I'm teaching the tutorials I am now. I'm basically, you might be asking why I'm doing this. It's because a lot of people have been inboxing me and PMing me. They've been saying, well, how did you get so good at programming? What do you do? Whatever. Well, a big reason why is because of the amount of hours I put into programming, and the reason why is because I'm passionate about it and I'm motivated about it, and I'm gonna explain to you the reason why I'm motivated so much to get bigger and better at what I do. So I made a video like this called C++ Beginners about a year ago, so if you've seen this, it's probably like a recap, but I'm just gonna redo it, better quality, and I guess in more in depth. So let me see. I remember when we were, when I was like earlier on in high school. I remember when I was in some course where they were teaching you about wires and stuff and how wires work, and we learned about like the ones and zeros and how the first computer was made, etc., etc. And part of the course curriculum was that we had to use some code in order to activate something in a wire in order to turn on the motor, and turn on some motor. So anyways, in order to do that, then we would have to learn the basics of programming. And since each semester is roughly like around 5 months, or 4.5 months, then you can't really teach a broad-based language such as C++ if you want to do a final project like that. And so we learned a programming language called Turing. And if you haven't heard of Turing, it's spelled like so, Turing. I think it was designed by Alan Turing, and it is a programming language for beginners. It has graphics built in, everything you need. It has classes, it has everything you need, but it's not really uh is robust the right word, I guess. Not really a robust language, I guess. It's not fully featured with everything, and it's pretty slow. But well, not pretty slow. It's slow if you have a lot of stuff in it, and the code can get messy pretty quickly. But overall, it's a very good beginner language. So I remember the first day we were learning Turing, and the first thing we did for the class, we just said put hello world. And then after that, teachers just say put whatever you want. He's like, you can put 4 plus 5, and it will display 9. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I was like, and if the put command, basically it displays something to the the command line window or whatever, or the screen or whatever, much like console.writeLine or cout, or whatever in other languages. So once I did that, a lot of people are like, wow, boring, hello world. And I know a lot of people in my class were like, wow, that's all we're doing, we're just displaying text to the screen, it's so boring. But to me, I was so fascinated. I was like, that is so cool. And a lot of you guys are saying, wait, why are you saying that's cool? It's just putting text. But to me, as a little kid, I've always wanted to program. I've always been fascinated with games, and I'm not a gamer. I don't play games a lot, but the little games I played when I was a little kid, Legend of Dragoon, Final Fantasy VII, Super Mario, Donkey Kong, all those classics, made me so interested in games and made me want to really play, to make my own games. And then with this, it just seemed that like with coding, then it could unleash a whole new world for me. So I asked my teacher, I asked him what I could do to get better. He told me to go to this website compsci.ca. You can post your problems about programming. They have Turing tutorials on there, etc., etc. So I'm like, okay, okay. So I went there. I like for hours a day. I would be on that website. I'll be practicing over and over, and to the point where I got really good at it. Like I remember we did this project, and I did something in the program where the teachers were like they were astounded, like they never thought of doing it in that that particular way, and they introduced it to the computer science department, and currently now they're teaching that way on how to do that particular project or whatever. So I feel honored because of that. But yeah, so then I got really really good at it, and then the end of the semester ended. So the next semester I had computer science, and yeah, if you guys, it's computer science, basically learning programming. So we were learning about Turing again in computer science. So I felt as though I already mastered Turing. I knew everything about it. So my friend told me, me and him were talking about programming. He's like, his older brother is a white hat hacker, I believe, and that they use the language C++. And I'm like, what is C++? And he's like, C++ is the industry standard for most things, especially for games. And I was like, cool, cool, alright. So I went home, I'm searching up stuff about C++, and I'm like, wow, this is a huge language, nothing like Turing. And I'm like, this is what the real big boys use, like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I might need some help learning this. So I went to my computer science teacher the next day, and I'm like, do you know C++? He's like, yes. I said, okay, so I'm like, can I stay back at school a few times a week, for you to show me some stuff with C++, and I'll go and practice it? He's like, no. And I said, why not? He's like, you're not ready. I said, what do you mean I'm not ready? He's like, you're not smart enough. And then when he said that to me, I don't normally get angry easily, but I was furious. I was like, okay, okay. And then I just walked away, and then as soon as I walked through the door, I slammed the door and whatever. And then I went home. And I'm like, even though it's hard, I'm going to figure out how to program in this programming language. Kai said, there's no way you can tell me I'm not smart enough to learn this programming language if I really want to learn it. So I borrowed a book from the library. I don't remember what it's called. And I searched up C++ programming on YouTube, Google, everywhere, anything I could find. I got it, I saved it, even ebooks and stuff. And every single day I would just program. And then I figured out that Turing and C++ can be similar in certain ways, such as in Turing, writing something to the screen or console window is as simple as putting put, and then in the quotations you put whatever you want to put to the screen. In C++, it's simple as it's similar as you put C out. You have to put the two left stream operators and then put whatever you want to do. So that's simple enough. That's all I had to do. So I'm like, okay, okay. It's just a little bit of change in syntax. So, and I learned how to do comments with two backslashes instead of a percent symbol. And I'm like, wow. I'm like, it's a bit difficult getting used to, but I can get used to it. And after a while, I got pretty good at it. And then I moved on to programming with graphics with Allegro, because I'm like, I want to make a game to show this guy how good I am, because out of the many games I made with Turing, he still never thought that I was good enough to actually program with C++. I'd made a Mega Man, I'd made Mario, I made Donkey Kong, I made a guessing game, I made tic-tac-toe, I made a paint program, I made the hardest game ever, my own version. I made a lot, and I wish I had them here, but I don't. They all got lost. But I made a lot of games to show, and I even made a tag game, but that's simple. But yeah, I showed him, like, I showed him a lot of stuff that I made with Turing. He still said I wasn't good enough. So I said I'm gonna show him that I can program it with C++. So then I went, learned Allegro because they said Allegro was easy, and I got the hang of it pretty quick. And then by the end of the year, I made a Mega Man remake of the one I made before, um, but it was even better. And then the teacher did in fact help me with C++, but he didn't indeed know that he was helping me. He didn't really help me with the syntax, but he helped me build the game because he helped me in certain areas. What I did was that I would I remade the I took the code from C++ and basically ported it to Turing, and I made it like a Turing type program. And then I would bring it to school, and I would be like, "Oh, I'm having troubles with this program, with this game. Can you help me out?" And then he would give me a solution, give me examples on how it was done. Then I would go home and then go and search on Allegro. Sorry, I'll go and search on Allegro how it's done, like yeah, whatever. And then I would take it and then apply it to my program, and then that's what I did. And then by the end of the year, I finished my Mega Man game with a lot of enhancements. It was a pretty cool game to play. And then I was playing in class one day, and he's like, "Peter, you're not allowed to play games unless they're yours." And I'm like, "Unless you made them." And I'm like, "I didn't make it with C++." And he was just staring at me. He just couldn't stop staring at me. And then everybody got out of their seats and they were looking at it. And then some people wanted to play it, and people were like, "This is a pretty cool game, whatever." And like the teacher really couldn't say anything to me after that because I proved to him that I could have done it. Now I know that the way I designed it wasn't probably the best. It wasn't the best coding, but I proved to him that I could have learned to program with C++. Now on to how this channel got started. Well, since I never had help learning C++, it was really a struggle and a hassle to learn. Well, learning C++ wasn't really the hassle. Learning the actual learning game programming and stuff was a hassle. Because learning everything on your own is always the hardest. And so the things I teach, the reason why I made Coding Made Easy is because I consider myself a beginner at the time. Now, it's better to learn from a beginner rather than a professional in certain instances. Now, you guys might be saying, "What are you talking about? A professional is always best to learn from." Well, sometimes you're right. Sometimes it's better to learn from a professional, but sometimes professionals are on a different intellectual level than you are, and therefore certain concepts you can't understand. And because of that, it makes it harder for you to learn things. It's like you buying a book, an advanced C++ book from the store, written by a person that's been writing C++ for 20 years. Yes, he's experienced at what he does, but the stuff that he's writing in that book is on an intellectually higher level than what you can comprehend, and therefore you will not understand it as well as from a beginner's perspective. So I said, if I'm a beginner, then I can teach it definitely from a beginner's perspective, and that's when I started teaching my channel. I started with basic C++. I kind of discontinued that series, and then I started teaching game development because I'm like, a lot of people don't do it, and even when they do, they don't teach it in depth. I learned a lot of things from Allegro from Lucica Mage's channel about beginner's guide to game development, and I learned a few things in those like 8 or 9 or 10 videos, but like it wasn't enough. Like you can't learn everything in 8 or 9 videos. I learned how to use the basic Allegro functions, which was her purpose of the tutorials, but I never knew how to implement them. I never knew how to do certain spray animations, how to put them in my code, and how to make them efficient. I never knew how to actually change the font type and do screen scrolling and collisions. I never knew how to do all that stuff, and I had to figure it out on my own. And because I never had resources to do that, then I decided to make my own tutorials, and I made my channel Coding Made Easy, because the code and the tutorials I'm teaching is supposed to always be easy for you guys to comprehend. So that's how I really got into my channel, and yeah, I'm doing pretty good now. I'm almost near 1,000 subscribers. Thankful for you guys for watching my tutorials and my videos. I hope you guys stay motivated and create, and I hope one day that you guys can make the games of your dreams or get close to that. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye.